now. Hello, hello. Hype. Hello, Hen. Hello, everybody. Not sure who's here yet. Maybe just Hen. It says I've got 2 concurrent viewers, but I think one of them is me on my phone. So, welcome, Hen. And welcome, Alex. Thank you for being here. We're
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes. It all seems to be working. Fingers are crossed. And I've got my glass of wine again, just in case I need to drown my sorrows if the chat goes down. But we're here to have a good time. It's all good. So we might get the game going, I think. And we'll wait until a couple of people rock up before we start chatting away. So I think let's just play.
What's the plan here? So
I think I'm just going to do normal 1v1s.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the Otomarazzi, I think I liked the idea, but I think it's a little bit of a distraction and just makes the game run a bit longer.
Yeah.
Which can be good and bad, but I think if we do non-Otomarazzi, then we could probably do 2 quicker games versus 1 longer game of Otomarazzi. So, yeah, it sort of depends on what we feel like, for sure. Oh, Orthalian's here. Hello, hello. You have a game. I thought you were joking when you said you were going to rock up and watch it at the same time. Don't let us...
multitasking.
Don't let us distract you from your tournament game. And good luck with your game.
Yeah, good luck, good luck.
Friend of the stream. Alrighty, so set to random. Let's jump in here. Oh, Alex is going first. Good luck, have fun.
Nice. Good luck to you as well.
Oh, Peach is here. Hello, hello, hello. Look at the beautiful working chat. Let's take a moment. Because I really just wanted to rage quit this whole thing today when this wasn't working. So we've turned it around. We had a sleep. And we fiddled a bit more. And it seems to now be working. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Have you got a good starting hand there, Alex? Or are you going to be quiet and mysterious about it? You don't have to tell us what's in it.
Yeah, should
you can give us a
should I spoil it?
You don't have to spoil it, but you can say, "Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good where we're at. We're gonna win this one."
It's pretty good. I can say that.
All right.
I mean, I can give more spoilers because I think people, generally can see your hands.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play it
hands, and it's not mine. Yeah, so my hand is. Okay, I'm starting from worst to better. So it's like common nighthawk, black chin hummingbirds, northern harrier, lesser white-throat, and Moltoni.
Oh, okay. So we got some teal stacking action potentially. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Hen's asking, how did I get my chat back? Hen, I had to sacrifice my beautiful, pretty neat and organized string of scheduled streams because Stream Elements was very confused about which chat it was supposed to be pulling the messages from. And if you only give it one option, then it can't be confused is where I landed with that. So I've had to, at least for the meantime, I'll have to move to scheduling the next stream straight after I've finished the most recent one. So I'll only really have one sitting in there upcoming at a time, which is upsetting to me because I liked how they were all kind of neatly filed away in there, but I'll take that over a working chat. I'll take a working chat over the pretty string of upcoming streams scheduled. Looking at my starting hand, she's also a bit of a beaut. I've got Mr. Pileated Woodpecker and yeah, we'll have a good time. What we got in the tray? Oh, Tree Creeper. That's
Short
intriguing. Yeah. Okay, so see if you leave that one for me, just for the memes. And Zobi is here. Hello, Zobi. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it does make sense. It was my theory, which I was hoping wouldn't be the case, but yeah, YouTube is just a little bit not that great with managing multiple streams being scheduled. I mean, I don't think Twitch is for that either, but yeah, it's a compromise I had to make until I work out something better. All right, so woodpecker, I think, and I mean, I've got Major Mitchell, but I never seem to have the card draw to support that, so I think I'll leave him. Oh, I got Prairie Manager, so maybe I'll keep the Prairie Chicken and be a bit greedy. All right, let's do the thing.
Yep. I mean, Tree Creeper is for you to grab, so
bless. Thank you.
choose wisely.
What a gentleman. Do I want the Nutcracker? Do I want the Nutcracker? Nah, I don't think so. Peach is getting confused because Hen's calling Zobi Z when Peach is also called Z sometimes. Maybe I'll call one of you Zed and the other one Z. Do you say Z or Z in Europe, Alex?
Depends in which context. I mean, mostly Z, I think.
Yeah, I think that's more of the European way to do it, whereas in the US they say Z.
Yeah. So I recently started the Polish courses, and we got through alphabet, and there were some interesting things such as V, letter V for Vox Swift is actually pronounced V, I believe, in Polish, which I found rather interesting. Okay. Yeah, but other than that, I think they're pretty similar with the letter pronunciation with English.
We were talking a little bit before the stream in our prep time about languages and about how Alex was going learning Polish because if you didn't know, he's Russian but currently living in Poland, in Warsaw. So he said his Polish is it's progressing, but perhaps isn't quite as good as he'd like it to be. Which I mean, so I'm particularly impressed.
I practice some with Giraffe, so Giraffe is speaking Polish as well, and when we are on the calls, sometimes I just try to speak exclusively Polish with him, and but I like vocabulary, but it's all good, so I guess.
Sure. Well, you'll have a lot of bird-related vocabulary then, if you're talking while playing bird game.
I mean, I actually only played Oceania, tabletop, not online. Once I played with Motherlove and Digger, and I believe it was a mix of French and English. And next time, here in Warsaw, it was in Polish. And I remembered the Good Bird, which I played, which was what was that? Liska Zwyczajna. So it's 4 points for grain, tag 3 cards, and gets a. So similar to main deck, but it was
Okay.
So maybe it's common Koot or something like that. So people can remind me what's the birds, if they can recognize it from my description.
Ooh, I don't know. Hen's the expert on the Wheat Boys, so perhaps you can identify that one for me. Let's get this Tree Creeper down because that is intriguing me. Or should I put the Merganser down first? Yeah, I should probably do that in case I want some card draw. Good stuff. I will take Hooded Merganser because he has lots of cavity space and he has 5 points, and that is all that I expect from him. Although I could put the Wedge-tailed Eagle in the wetlands with him, and we'll have a fun time double wedgie powers. I thought I saw a wedge-tailed eagle today, actually, driving up to my nephew's birthday party. But as my parents reminded me again, wedge-tailed eagles are gigantic, and the ones that I saw weren't all that big. So I'm wondering whether they might have been maybe brown falcons, actually, because they weren't peregrines. So I don't know. I'll have to get my birding observation skills up to scratch to be able to identify birds as I'm driving. Peach is keen for the double wedgie action. That gorge finch is also very nice, so let's grab that, I think. Good stuff. Yeah, Hen can't tell the wheat boys apart.
Do you?
They're all terrible in her book.
Okay. Do you ever use Merlin for bird recognition?
Well, this is really relevant to what I was talking to Beans about last night on the stream, because she pointed out that Merlin apparently doesn't work in Australia. Apparently it needs a lot more data. It works really well in the US and Europe, but not down here. So, yeah, that's a bit disappointing, because I had actually downloaded it, thinking I could get into that to give me a leg up on identifying some things. But apparently that's a no-go, and I might just need to get myself some bins and sharpen up my observation skills, I think, if I'm going to be an amateur birder. Cool,
Okay,
cool.
understood.
What are you doing over here? Oh, you got the harrier down. So still no cavity nest, actually. So I might go to town a little bit. Let's get the tree creeper down. Very nice. But I appreciate everybody in the chat choosing us over the Orthalian game. We had a bit of competition there. But I appreciate you all. But hype for Alex, and thank you again for coming along. And I suppose now we've got a few people here, we can have a bit more of a chat. So yeah, if you wanted to start out by telling us a bit about yourself, why have you ended up in Warsaw for your job, I gather?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked with pretty much the same company, but over the years it's moved, so say legal entities, let's say, and yeah, so that's how I end up in Warsaw.
Yeah, what sort of work do you do?
Yeah, I mean, software engineering. Yeah, so it's database related software for critical data, sort of. So it's banking records and medical records.
Okay.
So sometimes I have to go through the trainings on data safety. So it's regular every half year or every year or so. Yeah, but it's most of the time I'm not actually even have access to this data, because we have layers, and I'm not on the top of the food chain, let's say.
Oh, okay.
So,
fair enough. Or does it give you a lot of free time, your work, or do they keep you under the pump most of the time?
I mean, let's say it's free enough so I can play Wingspan instead of my work sometimes.
Okay. Well, that's the goal. So.
Or maybe not instead, but I cannot find the best word for now. But
Sure.
Let's say instead.
Yeah. Yeah. Concurrently, multitasking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simultaneously.
That's a good word. Yeah. Simultaneously. Cool. Excellent. All right. Well, I didn't go for that end around, because why would I? I've got a good thing going. So I think I'll get this wedgie down and we'll do some double wedgie action.
Yeah, that will be interesting. So there is a ongoing beef between brown falcon and wedge-tailed eagle, right?
Yes. So you got to find the brown falcon and play that, and then we'll have a real predator showdown.
Yeah.
You obviously
I
didn't
guess
catch
I
the
can
Bean
try.
stream last night. My tagline at the bottom, my current tagline for this stream is "Name the bird and the bird will appear." But the tagline on the bottom of my stream last night was Brown Falcon doesn't care what you think of him. So,
Yeah.
particularly referencing a game that I had recently when Brown Falcon did really well for me, but I, the entire time, was just talking smack about him. So, he just did his thing regardless.
Okay.
But
Understood.
no, I'm not on Team Brown Falcon in general. He's not generally my friend.
I found Vulture. I mean, does that work?
Depends how much you
So
think I'm
I
going
assume
to lean
with
into
the
double wedgie.
yeah. So you already have Metaganzer. Do you want to just leave it there as is?
I'm playing Wedge-tailed Eagle next turn.
Interesting. Oh, spoilers!
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! I mean,
I'm primed. Hello, Noel, by the way. I'm not sure I said that. Welcome.
oh no, good reveal.
Ooh.
Rule 16th.
Ooh. Maybe I'm not playing the Wedge-tailed Eagle this turn. I do want that Kakapo. Oh, but tempo.
Yeah, I will spoil. If you not say Kakapo, I will. So your move.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you have it. You let me have the Tree Creeper.
Okay.
Perhaps
Very
we'll
nice.
regret that later.
Okay, so many good birds actually.
Frigate's here. Welcome. She says, I'm always down for some Potatoes gonna hate. for some Brown Falcon action. Sorry, it was cut off. Haters gonna hate, Potatoes gonna potate.
Yeah.
Alright. We do need some more cards. Oh, that's nice. I just found a Kiwi. So never punished, right? Never punished.
Yeah. Leave Kakapo, get Kiwi from the deck.
Yeah. Oh, and the Wedgie hunted the Brown Falcon. That's so funny. Name the bird and the bird will appear, right? That's great.
Yeah,
Somebody's
highlight reel.
that. And again? No.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to double hit. Coffee and Wingspan. Yes, I know it's a little early for my US friends, some of you. So appreciate you. All right, so I've got some stuff to play now. So let's take some food. Could toss the Willet. Do need. Do I want to use that? No, I think we'll skip it for now. You still haven't found yourself a cavity nest. You need to get on that, mate.
I mean, I'm fine.
You're fine?
I have my white roads.
Okay. Fair enough. All good. Frigate says RIP homeboy to the Brown Falcon. Incredible scenes. You can't make this up. So continuing the conversation, what you do in your spare time apart from Wingspan? What sort of hobbies, activities do you sort of spend most of your time outside of Wingspan doing?
Yeah. So currently, I think it will be learning languages in general, mostly Polish now.
Sure.
But I used to study English, but it was like school level, then a little bit more extra, then a little bit of French as well, and now Polish, also Ukrainian. So I can get by in most of those. Other than that, I also enjoy doing quizzes. So they're mostly like, they're not thematic, so mostly general knowledge.
Sure.
And we go there with friends. And most of the prizes are alcoholic beverages, and I don't drink at all. So
Right.
every time we win, I'm like, great, let's go. But yeah.
So you're the popular guy
sometimes
because you
sometimes
win
there
all the
are,
drinks for everyone else. Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes there are also like sweet prizes, like candies and such. So
Nice.
wherever we win candies, I'm like, yeah, that's for me.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Shotgun the candies. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. I have
Yeah.
beef with quizzes because I have two arts degrees, so like humanities degrees, and I feel like with the amount of random stuff that I've studied, like history and a little bit of like philosophy and politics and different things, I have a pretty broad general knowledge, but it does never seem to translate into finding those answers on a quiz night, and so it's seemingly just not quite the right kind of general knowledge, which is frustrating. But on the odd occasion that I do come up with with an answer to a question, I think there was a question on a quiz night once, which was the inventor, the discoverer of penicillin. And I was just like, I know this. I was like, I know this. I've got this answer. And I was so excited because it was so rare for me to know it. And everyone's like, calm down, Jenna. Like, we're happy for you.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And when you go to quizzes, is it like closer to some type of Jeopardy, or maybe the questions are more like explicit or like well described?
You might be really good at it, but I'm not, because Australian pub quizzes tend to be really sport heavy. Like who was the soccer the World Cup winner in this year, or which player for this sport had the highest like batting average, and like just so many different random sports questions, and that tends to just count me out because I've got no idea. I've got no head for that kind of thing. So it's tough. It's tough. Australians are pretty sport obsessed, which I suppose is a pretty good segue into. I know you're a sports fan yourself. What sort of sports do you sort of rank the most highly?
I mean, I generally enjoy sports. So let's say if the person is doing some type of exercise, whatever that might be,
Hammer.
it's always good.
Oh, what a board.
Yeah.
Okay. Righto. I see you.
And I'm currently interested in calisthenics, so exercising with your weights. So
sure.
I did that today, and also was practicing Polish because my friends invited some Polish young guys to exercise with us. So we did well. But in general, I guess I also do volleyball on like regular basis. So, but this basis is like once a week.
Nice.
It's more casual, not like, not the advanced level. We're just like, we started as a group of friends and neighbors from the specific house, and then it grew. Like the girl who started it, it grew to like more of a everybody who wants can join and sign up.
Yeah.
And so now it's like four times a week, and most of the times 2 teams are like when they're scheduling, there will be like 2 minutes and the teams are already complete, so it's like high demand.
Yeah, nice.
Which is really nice to see.
Yeah, I've got a friend who's really into volleyball. I should pay more attention to it. It's one of the sports that really appeals to me. I should get more into it. It seems like a lot of fun. So this is indoor volleyball, I assume. I wouldn't imagine there'll be too much beach volleyball going
Yeah.
on in Poland.
We actually started as beach volleyball because
Okay.
it was in the summer, and
Okay.
there is a park nearby us, and there is like a beach volleyball. Like it's a single place, so that there's only two teams that can play simultaneously. But then it was not heavily used, so we just went there when we had spare time. It was almost always free to join and play.
Nice.
So we started as that, but then when the weather went like to be more cold, then we decided to go indoors, and we never went back, from
Right.
that.
Fair enough. My
Yeah.
experience of sports, in terms of playing them, I don't know how familiar you are with the sport of netball. It's really popular Australia, New Zealand, and in the UK. Have you heard of netball?
I guess you have to explain it to me more because
Yeah, so it's
I may be familiar with that, but I didn't know the actual name.
that's okay. It's an Olympic sport. So you might have. I think if you would have seen it, you might have seen it through Olympic coverage. But basically, and to give you the history, it actually apparently comes from Victorian times. Like it's a real women's sport that has all these rules and like lines on the court. So it's almost like the opposite of basketball in a lot of ways, because you pass the ball and you have to stop, and you can only take like half a step before you have to, like, you can't travel with the ball at all. So you're sort of frozen in place when you get the ball and you throw it to a teammate, but every position on the court has certain areas that they're only allowed to travel within. So there are boundaries, and like apparently it's to do with like Victorian, like placing restrictions on women and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is, but it kind of tracks thematically. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a real kind of go-to sport for girls, school age girls, to play netball as I guess like a socialization sort of team building thing. And so I played netball. I should probably post a link or some photos or something afterwards, although I still need to catch up on what I promised I would post from the Bean stream last night. But I had a bit of a sleepy day, so I'll have to catch up on both. But yeah, netball, it's a really interesting sport in how it is different from something like basketball. I'm not sure about handball, which is what Hen's question is. Is that different from handball? I'd have to look up what handball is to be able to tell you how different it is. But where was I going with that? Netball. Yeah, I was going to say, in response to you saying that you didn't go back out to the beach to play volleyball, is that I used to play when I was a kid on a gravel court. Not like gravel, like asphalt. Yeah. So hard surface, but like coarse. And there'd just be like the painted lines on the court. And I am very clumsy. As I said in last night's stream, I don't have a graceful bone in my body. So I was a very clumsy netball player, and so I would fall down a lot and have to go off the court to get a band-aid off the blood rule. So you would have to, you can't be bleeding on the court. You have to get a band-aid before play can continue. But as soon as I changed to play indoors and I wasn't playing on asphalt anymore, it was almost like I'd fall down just as much, but it was like I would fall down, but it's like the kind of glossy kind of court surface, so no, it's not coarse at all. So I wasn't getting grazes on my elbows and my knees and things anymore, and I was almost just bouncing off the ground all the time, because I'm a real, like, you knock me down, I just get straight back up again. It's no big deal. Like, I'm not one to stay down. I could throw some shade at soccer players maybe, but I won't. Sorry, football players. But it was funny because it got to a point where my teammates for indoor netball, they would be so used to me falling down that they would just keep playing. Like, I would fall down, but I would pass the ball and fall down. And the other team would be like, oh, is she all right? Like, sort of half stop the game. But my team just keeps playing because they know I'm fine. So it was almost a strategic boon, really.
Yeah, you could build a strategy around that. Yeah.
So it was very funny. But yeah, I've always been the clumsy one. It's my thing. So, and I suppose that kind of
Yeah.
leads into my question about calisthenics, which you mentioned, which is that I think there is a difference between what Australians consider to be calisthenics and what you're referring to as calisthenics. Do you know anything about that?
Mhm.
About Australian calisthenics?
Yeah, I mean, you can elaborate, but what I understand when I guess what I assume when I tell people that I do calisthenics is that I go outdoors and there will be like workout places. So there will be pull-up bars, deep bars, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the basic exercises for calisthenics are pull-up, push-up, and I guess you can consider sit-ups, but then like or squats. Yeah, but calisthenics athletes they're notorious for having like sticky legs and massive upper body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
but yeah, you can train. You can so it's basically training with your own weight,
Yeah.
and you can, I guess, you can do calisthenics indoors as well, and you can, I guess, purchase some inventory for your exercises. So the external inventory that I have includes like bars for push-ups or handstands, so you can position your hands as you would like. So you can basically choose the angle that you can place your hands.
Sure.
And then the exercising gums, if they're called that in English. So it's resistance bands. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know.
So,
I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. Okay.
And yeah, so I use those to train like for muscle ups, which is more advanced, and advanced calisthenics like exercises are front lever, planche, handstand push-up, which I'm not reached just yet, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, that's my understanding of what you're referring to as calisthenics, it being quite based in bodyweight training, and
Yeah.
that kind of resistance concept. Whereas my concept of calisthenics, and disclaimer, I was never into that. Calisthenics is another kind of activity that's sort of geared towards young girls in Australia as a kind of, again, socialization kind of sport hobby type thing. It's quite popular, but I was never a calisthenics girly because, as I said, really clumsy, no graceful bones. So I was sort of steered to the netball route rather than the calisthenics route. But calisthenics in Australia is much more of a like a rhythmic gymnastics kind of a thing, much more of almost an artistic sort of a sport. Like, it's still considered a sport, but it's more like I said, the rhythmic gymnastics that you see at the Olympics, where they have like a routine set to music, and they'll do like some really impressive gymnastics, like somersaults and sort of spins and all sorts of movements, like super impressive, and really the skill level is right up there. But it seems to be very different because it has even like a separate like Wikipedia page. Like, I was looking into calisthenics, and it's like go here for like normal calisthenics, quote unquote, and here for Australian calisthenics. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe what I'm thinking of is calisthenics. Like, maybe I'm picturing wrongly when I'm picturing Alex like twirling streamers and done up in like a figure skater sort of outfit or something. So yeah, but really interesting stuff for sure, and not something I was ever kind of attracted to in terms of my skill set, but can definitely respect the art form and the physicality of both styles, for sure. But yeah, no, really cool, and I imagine it would keep you very fit.
I guess you could say that. I mean, I definitely was a slender guy growing up, and then I started like exercising when I was at uni, let's say, more seriously, and then I recently got under the impression that people consider me a buff person, which, looking at the mirror, I'm not sure why.
Okay.
But it can be it also can be because of my media input. So what I see in the media, because I follow some guys who can be like top level of like humanity, basically, in terms of fitness.
Yeah.
And so when you compare to those, then I'm not that buff, but maybe in general I can be considered a fit person, let's say.
Yeah, it's definitely always a problem, I suppose, comparing yourself to the elite of any sort of hobby that you're doing. I mean, I struggle with that in my pottery. I've got to remind myself that I mean, I get a lot of compliments on my pottery, and I'm so grateful for that. But I, in a lot of ways, consider myself to still be very like low to intermediate in a lot of things that I do. And I see so many people online doing the most incredible things with their pottery, and it's hard not to compare yourself to that when you're still in development in your hobby. But yeah, it can be doubly so with sort of physical stuff for sure. So yeah, you kind of got to accept where you are and take pride in it. And yeah, what is it? The comparison is the thief of joy type of.
Most definitely. Not even like specifically in exercising, but in a lot of things.
For sure.
But what I also forgot to tell you is that I kind of had a couple of pottery classes.
Oh really?
Myself.
Oh wow. Okay. You should have told you. This is.
And I actually.
Yeah.
I actually managed to do some things which were like a complete things, and the cool ones. Like there is a funny story about one. So like I'm not sure. Like there is a plant. I believe it's in Russian. It's called monstera. I'm not sure how it's in English.
No, it's called
but I will double check.
Yeah. I'm also a plant girly, so,
and so
yes, I'm familiar.
Yeah, and I did it like the pottery of monstera leaf as a plate.
Oh, cool.
As a present. But I sat on that and it broke.
Oh no.
and I'm like, you were saying like, yeah, I'm clumsy person. Like I sat on my supposed to be present. It was on the couch, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm preparing things, I'm packing things, and I sat on that. I'm like, and it broke in half, and it was like not usable.
No.
So, yeah, thankfully, I also had like a cup type of thing, which was like really massive. So it had like thick walls, and it was really easy to grip because of the technique. So yeah, I managed to do that as a present. And also there were a couple of like, I'm not sure how to say it in English as well, but basically there were birds, but you also can whistle, and so it's supposed to make a bird sound. Well, it was close to the bird sound, but it was supposed to present it was supposed to present an owl, but the sound was not close to the owl, because like I don't think it's possible at my level to mimic the sound of a specific birds doing pottery. But it was nice. So what I asked from my pottery teacher is like, please do that the exact same thing like as yourself, and I will do mine. And so there will be two birds. One is like it was made by a great potter, and one was like from like a beginner. And we had an inside joke, because like this was a present for my friend's wedding. And
nice.
Okay, now I have to ask like the question about English, because I always confuse those two things. which sex is groom and which is bride. So who is the male?
The groom.
The groom. So
Yeah.
the groom always used to joke and call me the specific type of birds in Russian, which is sich. And this word is supposed to be like a little bit. So it's not like a swear word, but it's like just a funny way to address someone. And okay, I will double check how it's in English then, because we are about birds.
Yeah, no, we're all about birds, for sure.
Yeah, so in Latin it's called Athene, but in English, little owl, I guess.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and the word is fun because it's also, in Russian, it is really short and like you put a lot of feelings and emotions into it as well when you can tell that exact words. Yeah. And so I gifted them the present and said like, so the good one is for bride and this one is for you. I made it myself with all my love and and effort.
I like it.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. I actually have been really slack with my pottery recently, and I had a friend's wedding in April, and I was supposed to make them a wedding present, but I just, particularly with summer, because I struggle with the heat, and my pottery studio is in the garage, which heats up really quickly and badly.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't really get in to use my pottery wheel much over summer. So I didn't get it done, and so they got an IOU for their wedding gift. I mean, they got some cash and a card from us, but they also got an IOU for the pottery thing I promised them. So we'll just put that on my list of things I've got to accomplish with my pottery in the next few months. But since I started my stream, my pottery has been looking at me kind of resentfully from the sidelines, going, remember when we were your number one priority, when you spent all your time on us? But we'll get there. We'll get back and have a balance for sure. But that's really cool that you did a pottery class. Was that something that you sought out yourself, or did a friend like encourage you to go, or?
Well, so it was like, so as I said, I used to visit like English courses outside of my curriculum, so not in the university, but outside.
Sure.
And there was a teacher, and she had a girlfriend who is a pottery master, let's say. And so when we met up, basically, I fancied the idea of trying that, and they said like, okay, go ahead, come then, and yeah, that's how it happened.
Nice. Oh, very good. No, I am big fan of anybody taking up pottery. It's such a fun pastime, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's really satisfying to do anything with your hands, no matter how kind of creative you consider yourself to be. It's it's a really nice kind of thing to do, to just experience. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do, obviously, which is why I spent a ton of money on my pottery wheel.
It is also a type of meditation, sort of, when you are in the moments. I think it's really
it can be quite
calming and stress relieving in a way.
Yeah.
At least how I felt about that.
Oh, that's good. And you told me before the stream that you weren't a really artsy person, and then you proceed and connect with me on my main artsy parts time.
Let's say me partaking in that doesn't make me an artsy person, because
Sure.
I think I consider a person who can make, well, maybe it's because of I tend to be really critical of myself, so I don't consider my creations being that good.
Okay.
And then I saw your pottery and your art, so I can imagine how much effort does it take to create a plate and the very good art representation of a bird on the plates. And you also do I'm not sure how this process is called in English, but enameling or something like that.
Glazing.
When you put in. Oh yeah, glazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's certainly a
And you have to keep the form and the colors and the shape, which is like totally not my level yet.
yeah. I think most art, for people who get to the higher kind of skill levels at it, it's generally fueled by a bit of healthy and sometimes unhealthy obsession. um, you really have to get your 10,000 hours in to be good at most things. So, yeah, it's always a
Oh yeah,
process. And I have to sort of stop myself from falling into that trap of people who are good at, say, drawing, it's one of my goals to get better at hand drawing. To go, oh, you've got such talent for it. But you've got to realize that that talent, sure, you might be kind of have some natural gifts towards something, but it's about the time that you put into it and the practice and the kind of grueling hours that you spend being bad at something before you can be sort of good at something. So
yeah,
full respect to anybody who takes up any sort of pastime and gets good at it when they weren't at the beginning, for sure. I'm going to do this double
yeah.
play, I think.
Double play, okay. So you're ahead of me, I think, most likely.
We'll see. The ecologist in my hand enjoys the double play. We're starting to...
Yeah. Oh, pigeon.
Starting to get some traction on these bonus cards, which is good. What are you doing over there? Oh, yeah, we've got the Griffin Vulture out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it like ethologist and aspirational behaviorist? I see. I spy with my little eye in your bonus cards.
Yeah, it's a bit chaotic. The Kiwi didn't really come through for me, but we're working on it. It's like when you get these subpar bonus cards and you go, oh, well, let's just try and put something together to get a few points off these. By the way, catching up on the chat, I've been ignoring you guys a little bit. I'm sorry. Scott Sword, ages ago, came in with the raid. So hello, Scott Sword, and Determinator came with him. And do we have anybody else new? Just those two? That's okay. Determinator, how did you go with your Fury of Dracula game? I left just as you were getting started. What's the goss on that? Let me know. Not actually scoring that badly off this site selection that I didn't have high hopes for, which is good. We love a star nest with a site selection situation. Oh, Determinator got destroyed. Oh no. Oh, that's sad. Oh. Did they quarter you and stake you in the heart? Okay. Savannah Brown points. This is good. Scott says, just a nice run of cards for me. He got 4 IP against me though. Okay. IP equals influence. Cool. All right. So it looks like you can hold your head high there, Determinator. Good stuff. No, it was really interesting stream what I caught of it, Scott. So I'll have to go back and watch the rest later on. Definitely intrigued by Fury of Dracula, which I suppose leads me as a nice little segue into talking to Alex about one of his favourite games, which is, and we mentioned it last night in Beans' stream, would be Earth. Is that correct, Alex? Do you want to tell us a little bit about Earth and what you like about it?
Yeah, so I definitely spend much less time playing Earth, but I really like those type of games. I think if you're like a real board game like person, like that you know a lot. The people call them like Euro style games when you
Yes.
like build the engine and proceed from that. Yeah, because I'm not that big on board games, but yeah. So I enjoy Wingspan, so I spent like 1,000+ hours playing it. Earth much less, but yeah, it's pretty similar with regards to you have an island, and an island has like specific properties, and then each game there is a random fauna that you can attract to your island, and the faster you do that, the more points you get, and you attract fauna by actually planting flora, so a lot of different plants. And the actions are pretty similar to Wingspan, so you can plant, you can water, you can grow, and you can do something with the soil, which I'm not sure what the verb was for that.
Compost.
But yeah, and
I think.
yeah, compost. Yeah. So you gain resources from that, and your plants are basically like the birds, so they have different color of powers, and sometimes on activation they can bring you extra resources, or they can trade resources. So for example, paying the soil to get more cards. But what's different from Wingspan is that on your opponent's action you can benefit from that as well, so you can build around your boards, but you can also build around your opponent's boards, and the more people is in the game, the more complex it gets. But I think it's like when I played 2P in Earth, I definitely felt like, okay, there's a big like competence difference when you like played much less than your opponent, then your opponent's gonna destroy you. But then in 5 players you can so like it's like you will be more level with your opponents if you spend less time, I think, when you have like your mind on like Euro games, because it's like, okay, I can see that my opponent is planning to plant maybe, so I can play around that, or they can focus on composting or like growing, which I can also work with. So it's really interesting. I mean, like it's a little bit more complex in my opinion compared to Wingspan, but it's also like nature related, and it's like really cool. And there's also trivia about the plants as in Wingspan, so you have trivia about birds. So
yeah,
I found it really endearing to play. Yeah.
One of the things that, I mean, I watched a few videos going through some of the gameplay and a few reviews, and the really intriguing mechanic that was really interesting to me was that it seems like it's kind of still your turn even when it's somebody else's turn, because there's always things that are activating other things and you're always kind of doing something. So even with like a 5-player game, it seems like you would always be kind of switched on and involved, whereas I've had games of, say, Settlers of Catan around the table where you just kind of zone out because somebody's been, debating on whether to buy a development card for like 5 minutes, and you're just like, oh gosh, it's never going to be my turn ever again. That kind of mechanic, I mean, it also seems like it would be quite hectic, because it's always like, wait, is it my turn, or am I just doing stuff on your turn, and then you've got to finish my part of your turn so that you can do your part of my next turn, and it would be a little bit hard to kind of keep track of everything. But some people might like a real hectic sort of vibe. But it seemed like a really cool kind of like growing your own patch of plants and things and building it up, and kind of, even if you didn't have that skill level of really understanding the nitty-gritty of all the dynamics of the best strategies and things, you could still be kind of growing things and having a good time, and sprouting and etc. So it seems like a cool game for sure.
Yes, so that's one of the main advantages, right? So when you don't spend much time waiting for other people to actually play the game, you will still have some things to do on quote unquote other players' turn. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Birds with tuck cards. Well, at least Wedge-tailed Eagle hit for me once, so that I could qualify for the last end of round. So we had higher expectations of him with this double activation action, but yeah, we'll give him a pass on that because he at least got me 4 points at the end of the game. Can I do anything with these bonus cards? We're probably done, really. I didn't find another Prairie Manager bird, and I don't really want to draw again. So I think we're just going to lay some eggs. Doesn't really matter where they go. And then, I mean, I have to play Loggy because I wouldn't want to be a hypocrite. I pulled Loggy, by the way, while you were talking earlier. So I just did a little waving him around my screen as a bit of a hype. But the rule is you pull Loggy.
Yeah, does that Loggy go?
Loggy.
Yeah, does that go into wetlands?
Yeah, I mean, he'll be an extra point on site selection.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't have behaviorist, I promise.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a fake out. Fake news. Thank you for the fish.
It's aspirational one.
Yeah, it is aspirational.
Yeah.
But
no worries.
Unfortunately, didn't pull any more bonus cards. Oh, you're just going all in on these teals. It's all happening over here.
Yeah, fun game.
Very nice. Sorry, I've lost a bit of track of the chat. So, Zobi's commenting on Earth. Yeah, because Zobi's a fan of Earth, I believe. Said the sort of evolution of your tableau until the edges or corners of the 4x4 is set. So, yeah. So that 4x4, kind of building that out, that reminded me of a couple of other different games. But yeah, it has, I mean, I'm familiar too recently with Forest Shuffle. It's got a few kind of Forest Shuffle-y sort of vibes happening there as well. Yeah, interesting to be exposed to some of these newer new games to me, because as I've said recently, I have trouble kind of breaking out of my comfort zone. So when I go for a board game, I'll definitely often reach for the, Ticket to Ride and the Settlers of Catan and the ones that I'm super familiar with, rather than trying something new. And yeah, I think I probably do need to get on BGA and try some new games, and this is giving me a lot of ideas for what I should try. Definitely. How am I going to get these birds down? Guess I'm going to take some food.
But yeah, being myself, I would never reach for Catan.
Not a fan?
For the reasons that you named and some others. Okay. Oh, absolutely not.
It's kind of the original Euro game though, right?
I think like the thing when you trade resources is the most annoying part, as you mentioned.
Right.
So people like, if you're also playing in the new group of people, and if some of them know each other, they can trade resources freely, and then you have to try to negotiate with people that you don't know, and that can affect your game. I think it's really not great. I mean, it depends, right? But also what I don't like is dice involved, so you don't basically affect the game, so the game plays itself, at least like in my opinion. So you can try to manage like the probability theory and be like, okay, so if it hits, then it's like the probability of that hitting is more, so I have to do that. But then the dice can basically mess with your plans, and so why bother then?
You just need to be less of a numbers guy, right? You just need to go with the flow. But have you ever played? And I'm thinking not. Star Trek Catan, because Star Trek Catan is where it's at, and you get little spaceships instead of roads. So,
No, I don't think so.
okay. Well, I'm a Star Trek fan, so Star Trek Catan's pretty high on my list. And it actually has a different mechanic
Okay.
that you can actually add into the normal game, the normal version of Catan as well. There are these like player cards that add something extra to the game that gives you like a special power. And that gives you a little bit more control of strategy. So there are powers like, I'm trying to think, it's been a little minute. There's a card that you can force people to trade with you. So you can force trades, or like you can buy development cards for cheaper, or you could get a selection of development cards to choose from instead of pulling one off the top. There's a power that if the dice is rolled and you don't receive a resource normally, then you can, because of your power, choose any resource that you like. So there's different interactions that those little cards add to the game that I'm a really big fan of. So I would say that I definitely hear the criticisms about basic Catan, but I really would encourage people to try it out with the player cards with the different powers, because that really adds something to the game, in my opinion. But it was kind of the first kind of modern tabletop game that I got into, so it has a real soft spot in my heart. It's one of my favorites, and I think everybody kind of has their nemesis game, and if I was going to name one that I don't like, that often people do like, is I hate Carcassonne. I despise that game. You couldn't make me play Carcassonne. You couldn't pay me.
Yeah, I can see why as well. I mean,
I just know.
Yeah. I think it's like reverse for me. So like I don't mind Carcassonne, but I like hate basic Catan, and then yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty, so let's finish up this game.
Yep. Okay, so you're feeding me eggs as well. So how do I want to do that then?
Finally, so Hen was impressed earlier that you resisted the what she calls was it the woodpecker shuffle or the pleated shuffle, if Hen's still here, which is the desperation to find a cavity nest once your opponents played pleated woodpecker, pileated. Sorry.
Okay, I see.
But she was impressed with your fortitude in ignoring the eggs, the potential egg loss.
Yeah, I don't mind, because again, like I started with white throat, and
Sure.
I don't think that I had any problems with eggs this game, and now I actually had the problem of managing my egg spots after all the steals, which I think gonna be fine still.
Fair enough. Alrighty. So I think we got a pretty good score, but we'll see how yours stacks up. Loggy got a couple of extra points on each.
Okay, Shrike. Yeah, Shrike as a last move, as a power move, being like on the board.
Actually, it's the second game today, and Kitty nice. can attest to this. Second game today that I've played Loggy as my last move, so it's been a Loggy heavy day. Bless his little cotton socks.
Really nice. Okay, how do I want to do that then? So maybe like that in order not to. Okay, let's try that, and then that. Okay, my last turn is gonna take like a million years.
No, you're fine. I'll talk to the chat while you work that out. I was just looking, and Scott says, I find the initial settlement placement, so talking about Catan, I find the initial settlement placement rather frustrating. You can get zoned out of the game if you're not sure of strats. Yeah, for sure. Settlement placement at the start is pretty key to success, I think. But you can also, because of the like heavy luck component of Catan, you can have the best placement ever and still not be guaranteed a ton of resources if the dice don't roll your way. And I see that Scott's approving of your position as a fellow dice hater, Alex, in terms of the chance element of a game like that. And Determinator says the food dice not cooperating is one of the most frustrating parts of Wingspan, and completely agree with that. Which is one of the reasons why I often go Forest Engine, because just from the sheer amount of food that you end up taking, you get what you need. But if you're going on a low food setup and the feeder's not playing ball, that's when I kind of want to like throw my device against the wall and rage quit the game, to be honest.
That's fair.
Oh no, I forgot about the Gould's Finch. Why did nobody tell me? I got distracted.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's embarrassing. I could have laid eggs again. Alright. So that's 4 points I lost, but that's fine. It's fine. We've all been there, right? Sophie says it's the wine. Alright, I'll finish my glass.
Okay, for style points, I'll take Behaviorist from Kakapo because it's 6 points for me. But I also got Ethologist and Large Bird Specialist, which also works for 6.
That's very nice. All right, so Kakapo, working out for you. Perhaps I shouldn't have left it for you.
Yeah.
Oops.
But you got the kiwi after that,
I did
so
get the kiwi,
who knows?
but the kiwi was quite disappointing for me. I was paying no attention to the nectar, but I managed to win too, so that's good. All right, here we go. If I lose by 4 points, I'm going to be really upset. Ooh.
Okay, I see the score. I'm not telling anything.
Okay. Oh no, it's counting up. Food on cards. Tucked cards. Oh. Chat, why? Why didn't you tell me? That's so embarrassing. That's like loss with an asterisk because I'm an idiot. And the asterisk like sort of leads you to a footnote that is Jenna is an idiot. What a dickhead.
But what do you plan to do if you were to remember the Goldfinch?
I would have laid eggs for 4 points, but I also would have needed to realize a turn earlier to take non-nectar to play the Loggy with. But then I would have maybe not won the Wetlands Nectar. Ooh, that's a good question.
I think I think
I would have.
It will be tied then.
Yeah. So coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Orthalion says
GG's.
this is better content. Me lose a game because I forgot about my Gould's Finch play. But it's possible Alex would have still won. It's fine. Hello, Giraffe. Hello, Orthalion. Hello, everybody. Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. I'm a dickhead. It's fine. We will not save that one to the Preserve Archive.
Okay.
Oh dear. Let's see if I can redeem myself up for another game. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Right. Yep. Good stuff. I get to go first. Have you finished Orthalion? I don't know if I want spoilers or anyone else wants spoilers, but were you happy with how the game went?
Let's hope Artalion said this is better content, not with regards to his game being boring.
Oh. I am gonna watch it tomorrow, so I mean I can be spoiled, it's fine. Yeah, what am I gonna pick? do that. There might be some Hummer food coming your way, my friend.
That's nice. Ooh. What is that?
I don't know. What do you got? It's not black-headed gull, is it?
No. Actually, out of respect, I wouldn't play Black-Headed Gull.
Oh, good.
Even though it works for all end of rounds.
What a gentleman.
So I got... Yeah, so I got like the palindrome's hand, which is like in terms of colors, it's palindrome. So it's like teal, pink, white, pink, teal.
Okay, right.
And I think some of the birds are good, but I don't think they're good for the starter. So it's like, it's Cetis or Chetis, Nightjar, Red Knots, Brown-Headed Cowbird, and Carrion Crow. And I think I go with Nightjar, Red Knots.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that isn't
But,
so good in a starting hand, right?
Yeah, but I wonder what are you going to do as your first turn? Whether you're going to draw cards. I think that's most likely a no-brainer. But let's see.
No, I don't think so.
That's interesting.
I'm feeling spicy.
Okay, I see you.
We're going with the bin chicken.
Oh, that's cool. As the first bird, yeah. Yeah, so I basically said out loud which cards I discarded, so yeah, feel free to say hi to them as well as they appear.
Yeah, some of them sounded pretty good to me
Yeah.
later on. Sorry, the chat's saying about hummingbirds and whether they like them in OE. Well, Geest is a fan, if we're gonna speak that name. Yeah, I don't mind it. Certain situations. I'm not a massive... I don't love playing a lot of co-op birds, but I definitely don't avoid them as such. It's always hard when you give other people food that lets them play a million more birds, but I probably would only really properly hesitate if they've got like a teal pab thing with a low food setup going on. What will I do? Ooh, that's quite nice. And
yeah, that is also quite nice.
Giraffe was saying coming back a little to Catan and games being based on chance. What's your opinion of Risk? Have you played much Risk?
No.
No.
I'm not aware.
Yeah, I haven't really either. It's one of those ones that it's almost... I'd say it's kind of halfway between a more sort of modern tabletop game and something like Monopoly, almost. It's one of those ones that is a bit notorious for causing flip tables and things, right?
Yeah, so it sounds like that, yeah.
Yeah.
You take a little risk when you play the Risk.
You risk your friendships.
Yeah.
Let's do... Do I want that? Zoe's saying, presumably about risk. I believe there's a common Australia Matters strategy, so you'd probably like it. Okay. Well, I mean, I like anything that gives Australia a little bit more time in the spotlight. So, ooh, I will take that snow bunting very happily.
Okay.
What are you doing over there?
That's fine.
Nightjar down. Determinator saying, whoa, Orthalion actually did watch this stream while playing his game. Respect. See post in MLW Nest. I will go and look at the post in the MLW Nest. Let's see.
Spoilers!
It's fine. The beauty of 2 monitors. Aw, that's so cute. Oh dear. Fun.
Yeah, okay, I see the question from Scott.
Yes.
Favorite bird in game, in real life? Okay. In game, I think that I like the bird combo of honey buzzard and common swifts. So it's like not the singular best bird, but I think it's the best combo, at least for me. When like it was released in European expansion, I was like, okay, that's pretty good, and I had a lot of positive experience with that, so it was really nice. In terms of just a singular best bird in wingspan, so again, like I'm excluding Asia at this point because again, like I don't have a tabletop version, so I am not that familiar with Asia birds just yet, only from playing wingspan in Polish once in real life with Asia, and then in beta with Monster Couch. So I think again, like the best Asia bird for me would be Oriental Bayal, because like the art is pretty good and the teal power is very unique and really thematic, which I really like.
Yeah.
And it's an owl. Yeah, so excluding Asia, I think, well, that's definitely a hard question. So
what do you most like to see in your starting hand? What most excites you if you had to pick like one bird?
What most excites me, again, if we're speaking about if I want to win the game, because like most of the time when I go in playing wingspan, that's what I'm excited about. But I think that's not necessarily the question here. Yeah, I mean, I think like I can think of Bushtit because again, I believe I posted the first score of the most stacks on the base game on the server. It was like Bushtit included in the setup, so it was like or at least I beat the score at when it was like set for some big number in base. And also there's memes including Bushtit, and it's like Star Nest and
X-Base for days.
5x spot, so you can you put it in the wetlands, you click the button, you go vroom vroom. Very cool.
Nice. Yeah. I'm quoting you on that.
In real life, I think I really enjoy. So like I only saw this bird a couple of times in real life, but I was really amazed by how beautiful is that bird. So it's like Eurasian jay.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, and it's I think it's pretty hard to spot, at least where I was. So it's like it tries to hide in the branches, and when it flies, it's really colorful. So I think it's like one of the most colorful birds in Europe that I saw.
Yeah, it got really ripped off on the bird card art because I think that's one of the ugliest cards. But now looking at it, it is a really pretty bird.
Yeah, and obviously White Stork. Again, like released in. Okay, yeah. So I will tell that White Stork is also like the bird I'm most excited to see at any stage in the game, because whenever you play it, it's good. So again, it's a big competitor to Bushed it. Also in real life, I had the experience of going to Owl's Cafe. So I really enjoyed that experience. So there were different types of owls. I believe the Great Horned was there. Is there an Arctic owl? So like the snowy, yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and some barred owls, and yeah, I think barred owls. And I actually fed the barred owls, which was really great experience as well. So I think those.
Yeah, no, I can tell you're a big fan of owls. That's cute. I'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
Owls are awesome. My parents tell me sometimes when they see them, they have a big long stretch of country road heading to their place in the country. They live. There's a really, really big, really long river, like not quite like Mississippi sort of level, but kind of the equivalent in Australia is the Murray River. They live near the sea, like the mouth where it meets the sea, and so they have a place in this really gorgeous like wetland area, and so they see like pelicans and egrets and cormorants and all these sorts of beautiful wetland birds. But as they're traveling to their home, there's a big long stretch of country road, and they quite often see owls on the fence. I don't know whether they're looking for roadkill or what, but really beautiful creatures.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I think it's like
cartridge, and you're making use of that. All right, that's fair.
Yeah, about the owls as well. So like, I think it's about its general owl's general demeanor and.
Make the food problems go away.
Can you hear me still? Hello?
Good stuff.
Can you hear me still?
Determinator's comment: Jays are great IRL, not so great in game. I thought at first glance that was some sort of a derogatory comment against Jay Quizzle, but no, just agreeing with me that the J card is not a great card to look at, and also not a great power. Oh, sorry. Did I accidentally mute you? Oops.
Yeah, Determinator here.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I accidentally was messing with a setting and accidentally muted you. Apologies. I thought you were just going quiet.
No worries. Yeah, I was just talking about like the general owl's demeanor and like the eyes that makes them appealing to me.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did think it was weird that I was talking about owls and then you went silent, so that's my bad. So let's get some food going. Thought I would starve you for hummingbird food at the start. Do a bit of a fake out. Kitty also read it as a slam on Jay at first glance. I mean, where is he? Yeah, I fixed it now, Hen. Thank you.
Oh, what a tray. Oh my god.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, should I tell you that I have Food Web Expert in my hand?
Ooh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy.
I take all of those, I think.
Yeah. Oh, we oyster catcher as well. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I also got pileated.
Ooh, okay.
Yikes.
Let's get this bunting down straight away then. Oh, the noisy mine is nice though. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't like this feeder. It's okay.
Yeah, that one is better. Free grab, thank you very much.
Enjoy. I actually have a project. I have a couple of, well, I have so many pottery projects that are lined up waiting for me to start them, but I am planning on painting a night jar on a jar. So it's going to be a nightjar jar, which is going to amuse me. And I also have a roseate spoonbill spoon rest on my slate of things to paint. So spoonbill spoon rest and nightjar jar. What else am I doing, Hen? I don't even know. There were lots of punny combinations we were messing around with. An owl bowl. That was a slight stretch, but
Owl bowl.
An owl bowl.
Okay.
It's more of a visual pun.
I see. Yeah, malleefowl, scrap fowl, owl fowl, bowl. Yeah.
It's very good.
A fan of puns, I see. A fan of puns.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not so much, but it's amusing to make a piece of pottery that's based on something that's going to make someone smile. So
okay, yeah.
That's why I like giving away my work.
Yeah,
rather than trying to sell it, because I just enjoy gifting my work.
Well, that's so nice.
Mm.
But my play is not,
Okay.
let's say.
Oh, okay. You don't need the pileated. Okay, I should not have left the partridge. I have regrets. So that was a pileated shuffle fake out. Interesting.
I mean, I still have it if I want as an option, but yeah, I don't.
Scotswood saying, I propose we change the pronunciation of bowl to make it rhyme with owl now. So we've got to say, I'm going to have a bowl of porridge. That sounds very wrong now that I've said it. I'm going to reject that proposition, Scott, based on the actual implications.
More food for me? No, not. Oh, mockingbirds on hummingbirds, maybe, please.
Hey, now we've crowdsourced the pottery puns, Hen. We should have done this from the start. A bit earn, a bit earn. That's very good.
Bittern. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. So in order to make great puns, you have to be quick-witted. So like a godwit.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. So again, like learning languages is partly to make dead jokes as well.
Okay. Fair enough. Hen, you better get on these language classes then, because Hen is our queen of puns.
Nice.
All right. I have no plan currently. What am I looking for? I will take the Kakpo. That's very nice.
Good.
Oh, Scott, you're making me want a cup of Earl Grey. That would go down well right now. Although I do prefer,
We're speaking about
I really like Lady Grey because it's got a touch of like floral notes.
tea flavors, eh? I like mint tea.
Peppermint tea? Did
Just
you?
just the mint. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like peppermint
Yeah.
or
I
yeah.
think you just became my new best friend because that is my go-to. Peppermint tea is my absolute
Yeah.
favorite. It's like giving your stomach like a hug, like internally.
Oh yeah. I think it's like for me mostly not the stomach, but maybe again the hug more towards the lungs. I would say. I'm not sure because like maybe I'm a strange person, but I feel like it's somewhere there, not in the stomach.
Okay, right. I would associate that kind of action to be more like eucalyptus, like a kind of menthol sort of sensation.
Hmm.
Yeah. What is my plan?
Play a bird.
Indeed. Snipe.
So Chet is warbler. Okay.
Eh, it was a
So
vibe.
that's why you never talk with your ibis. Okay.
I wanted some cards. Should I block the fairy wren? Maybe. Uh,
For the expert purposes.
yeah, it's not that great for you.
Yeah, not yet. More food!
More
Yay!
I mean, if I take
More
food, you're
food.
well, I take
Okay.
food, you're probably getting a worm anyway, right? So let's just go all in.
Yep. I'll take that gladly.
Yeah.
And we're gonna look at more cards.
We need to get some points happening.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess I have to block that for you. So no mutes one for you,
Oh no.
but you can choose from those good
no.
birds.
Yeah, I don't think I'm taking the lyrebird.
Now I can repeat your Robin if I so wish.
Yes, I do wish that vibes translated directly into points, Scots would, but unfortunately, it's not generally the case. That's
Saucerulean.
A Saucerulean warbler. Yeah, that one's a bit of a grinder,
Okay, yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, I don't have enough eggs. Alright. We are quite egg poor. It's a problem. I would say that on this stream, the vibes are more important. 100%.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Why did I play this snow bunting when you're doing no tucking?
I am not sure.
I got burned by
I just saw that I got pileated. Yeah.
I got burned by the pileated shuffle. That's upsetting.
If you want, next time I draw cards, I'll discard it so you can find that with the ibis and play it yourself.
So upsetting. What do I want to do? This rat in my supply is annoying me. Yeah, Earl Grey plus lavender is Lady Grey. Hen. So you're a Lady Grey fan like me.
Hmm.
I don't know. Choices.
Yeah, lavender is interesting, but not my cup of tea.
Badumch.
Yeah.
How am I going on? I'm just not going to compete on this end around.
No?
Nah. You can have it. Let's do this.
Okay.
Ooh, that was worth it. Okay. If you add milk, it's called a London fog. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, stream slightly going towards the food directions and like the Marmite, or what was the hot topic when the fan was streaming? Like
gravy.
The gravy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. Is gravy a drink?
It's like, were you there during the Flan stream where he talked about gravy and drinking gravy?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, that's not the feeder reroll I want.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your worm.
Yeah, because like I found the concept of the drink, which is like meat flavored or like supposed to be meat flavored, like rather disturbing.
Yes,
I'm not sure why,
let's
but
not
it's like
reopen the gravy as drink.
Gives me chills.
No. Oh dear. Hen saying, okay, forgive me if this got asked earlier because my cat's distracted me, but what's Alex's favourite thing about Poland? Any favourite dishes or drinks?
Poland is nice. I think it's like for drinks and dishes. I'm not sure whether it's like Poland specific, but I go to basically the canteen, which is like Bar Mleczny in Poland. So it's somewhat regular foods, and I guess I'll give you the names of the dishes in Polish, but I think there will be the like similar things in different cuisines. So my go-to would be goulash, which is, I believe, I'm not sure whether it's originated from Hungary, but it's like I ate that in Russia. I also ate it here. So goulash, może być kotlet schabowy, which is like, what's the dish when you have to beat the meat, basically? So like you beat it with the hammer and such, and then it's like put it in some type of like egg wrap.
Schnitzel?
And
maybe?
then
No?
maybe, but again, I will use my good old friend Google Translate.
Okay.
So
I'll give you a second. On goulash, we use that term here for like a hearty stew. Hungarian goulash is
yeah.
probably pretty common as a variant. Yeah, yeah, it's really, really, really nice in the wintertime with some fresh bread. So good. Where's Grim? Determinator says.
Yeah, so I basically, with my relationship with food, is that I like simple food that works. So again, like with exercising, so I usually eat in the morning like cottage cheese and fruits, and then for my dinner I would go to bar mleczny and do that, and plus the rice or buckwheat and some salads, which is called surówka in Polish. So they are salads, but they're like marinated. And then in the evening, I will basically do the same that I named, but the opposite. So like if I got rice for my dinner, then in the evening I will go for buckwheat or something like that.
Okay.
I sometimes go to restaurants as well, but it's not that regular, let's say.
Sure. Is there much like nightlife where you are in terms of like restaurants, like variety and sort of, I suppose, like food as an experience, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I think the variety is there. It's just I'm not the person who often goes out
Sure.
to
Just like the hearty sort of simple stuff.
find the food.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid for sure.
That's me, basically.
Nice. Yeah, it's coming into winter here, so it's definitely soup weather, and pumpkin soup is one of my favorites. It just makes me feel good when I have a nice big bowl of pumpkin soup.
Nice. Ooh.
Yeah, this game.
Because like for me, for example, yeah, you mentioned pumpkin. I'm not a big fan.
No.
I would say I'm as much of the fan as of Catan.
Okay.
It just so happens.
That's all right. We like what we like. How am I doing on brown powers? Oh, not great. This is just a bit of a struggle at the minute. Let's draw cards. I would have really, really liked that Mutes one, just for the record. I know that you know that, but...
I know. I know that you know that I know.
Oh dear, it's upsetting. Let's just give you more food, why not?
Yay!
Feeling generous.
Yeah, so for the nightlife, I usually go to quizzes, and they're most of the time they are in the bars and such. And yeah, but we communicate mostly about like quizzes. I mean, like about life in general with like acquaintances and friends. So yeah, and the places are most of the time settled because like it's again like they have to find a place to basically host the event, and it's like yeah, so like it's convenient for the people to go almost every time to the same place. So
yeah, sure. Did you know many people or anyone in Poland before you moved there, or did you sort of have to start from scratch and sort of rebuild your social life a little bit?
Yeah, like the second option. I didn't know anyone basically, so yeah.
Yeah, that must be hard.
So had to go
And
from.
how long have you been there now?
I mean,
couple of
yeah,
years?
so 2+ years, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that sort of works.
I mean, I think it's like common when you move to the new place that you don't know a lot of people.
Yeah.
You might be lucky enough to have someone there, but like when you move countries, I think like most people experience that, like the type of isolation that they like leaving the friends behind or
Yeah, sure.
something like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
moved,
yeah,
not
but
countries,
it's fine.
but
It's fine.
I moved states. My partner and I lived
Mm-hmm.
in Brisbane, in Queensland, for a few years, and I was very homesick for a good while there, for the first
Mm-hmm.
year, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can certainly relate on how hard it is to relocate and sort of put yourself out there and rebuild your social life. For sure.
Yeah.
Do I play this cuckoo? Could need to lay eggs. Lay eggs. See, I'm giving you food. I would really love some food.
I mean, I have no means of sharing, so
know.
sorry.
I know. Just take another nectar.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah, that red knot was really nice for you with food web.
Yeah.
Big points.
Here maybe. Ooh. So ooh. Okay, I keep that just for the sake of it.
I mean, I would.
Okay, my last play this game, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I wouldn't think too hard because I think you're winning this one pretty easily. I think it's fine.
Yeah, but it's gonna be for style points,
Okay,
so
sure.
you have to check it out when I do
Always
that.
a consideration. I want to play Kakapo, but I also want to max out Birdbander, and so it's upsetting. I've got a choice. I need like one more food to make it work to play both. I wish this was the game that I had the Gould's Finch.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing worse than being like one food short of what you want to do. Flan would criticize my tempo, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's fine. One more turn.
Okay, there we go.
Scott. I know. I mean, in my defense, it's 2:19 a.m. So brain is not working too well right now. No, I'm not going to keep a tally of Jenna versus guests. No, thank you. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life. When no goal round 3 comes in clutch. Absolutely. Alright. We've just got to hope this Kakapo bonus card's going to come through for us. Upsetting. Alright, what was this last impressive play? Oh, the Godwin. Nice.
No.
No? Oh, the Woodpecker. Ah.
No. Yeah.
Nice.
I told you I'm gonna play it.
Yeah, that was a flex, for sure. Don't skip, thank you. Not the best Kakapo I've ever seen. Take a 4-point.
This for
Forester.
4?
Yeah, it's Forester for 4.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I
and
got
weep.
like this game because I pulled Raven, so, and you leave me the Partridge, so I think it's.
Yeah.
And then on the tray reveal with the food web experts, I got both the Viria and the Oyster Catcher, and I also got the Godwits. So
Yes, continue to describe in excruciating detail how you stomped me in that one.
I mean that happens.
Yeah.
It's just.
It does, for sure. Let's have a look at these disgusting bonus cards. 10-point rodentologist. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I was up against it. For sure. Very, very nice. GG's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Partridge
GG.
Raven. That's insane, actually.
Yeah.
For sure. Though you would have gone hard with that Mockingbird if you pulled that instead of me. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, in the grasslands, I think so.
Giraffe is saying, so what about that fairy bread? So there's a big long thing in off-topic chat, by the way, with me posting pictures of my nephew's birthday party, and started up a conversation about fairy bread. Had you heard of that before? Fairy bread from Australia?
No.
No. Okay. So it's basically regular like white sliced bread, like the really processed stuff, spread with butter or margarine. I hate margarine, so always butter for me. And sprinkled with. Do you call them sprinkles or do you call them hundreds and thousands? Or what do you call them? The like multicolored.
I think if you say sprinkles, I would be more inclined to understand.
So basically, yeah, it's buttered bread with sprinkles, and it's served almost exclusively as like a kid's birthday party thing. Like you cut the slice of bread into little triangles, so you've got 4 little triangles, and you kind of stack them neatly on a plate, and then the kids all scramble and get like buttery like coloured streaks all over their hands and get all sticky from it. So it's a whole thing.
Oh.
So Giraffe is asking, well, he's basically throwing shade on the institution of fairy bread. Because how dare you criticise? It's perfect just the way it is. Australia doesn't want your opinion on how to improve fairy bread.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask like about why that food is that way. Yeah, don't ask about gravy being a drink or like fairy bread being the way it is.
Is there any particular like kids' party foods in sort of places you've been growing up that sort of sticks out as being kind of equivalent to fairy bread?
I mean, that's pretty interesting question. So we had those types of like waffles, but they're like homemade, and I mean like they rolled into like tubes and filled in with like condensed milk, and it was pretty regular when I was growing up. And it was also similar with like it's a type of let's say cookie, but the cookie is made of 2 parts, which makes it look similar like the hazelnut, I believe.
Hazelnut.
It's like 2 parts. It's also like and it's also like the parts are stuck because of the condensed milk inside.
Okay.
So that type of sweet.
Nice. Well, that sounds yummy. Trying to think.
Yeah.
We also have just some really like shocking kids party food, like basically mini frankfurters, what we call like little cocktail wieners, basically. and yeah, just them in a bowl, like warmed through, and the kids just dip them in ketchup, in tomato sauce, and go off on their merry way.
Mhm.
Um, oh, Giraffe is saying which cookie. I got disconnected. Is it a is
I'm not even sure. So
because it
so
wouldn't be
it's
a
it's
Polish
it
thing
def-
because
it
you're
was
talking
definitely
about
a Polish thing.
your childhood, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's because like last week I was traveling to Wrocław and they served me the exact same thing, but
Okay.
also was with glitter. But it's like it was Harry Potter themed cafe, so it's like it was supposed to be a snitch, but it's like
Okay.
the same cookie, but it's filled with glitter. So it's like two parts. They are stuck together with condensed milk, and it's supposed to present a healthy nut or like another type of nut. But I believe it's healthy nut.
Mm.
Oh no, maybe not. Okay, type of nuts. Okay, Google history. Don't type of nuts. Not a peanut, definitely. Walnuts.
Oh,
Maybe
walnuts.
walnuts is
Okay.
better suited for that. Yeah.
Oh, Scott's was
Yeah.
saying the hot dog sausages. Yeah, that's a thing. Kids party food wise.
Mm. I mean, here in Żabka you can be served like it's not a mini hot dog, but it's like they're served everywhere basically, so you can get your hot dog on the go. It's like coffee and hot dog and be on your way.
Very good. Alrighty. Any last questions for Alex before we wrap up? I need to get back to bed. I think get some beauty sleep in me. But thank you very much for joining us, and yeah, it was a good chat and a good couple of games, even though I tragically lost the first one and got stomped in the second one. But that's what you get when you play for vibes over strategy, and that's fine. I'm fine with it. What have we got coming up next? We've got, okay, so to explain, the chat works now, but the chat works because I sacrificed my my lovely like string of scheduled streams in my YouTube channel because long story short, Stream Elements didn't like that, and once I removed that, the chat started working. So until I find a better workaround, before I finish up and go to bed, I'm going to schedule the next stream, which is going to be, we have crammed into our schedule. We're going to have Winner Winner Chicken Dinner, aka Rule 16, aka Frigate, aka Deb, coming in on, okay, so it's Wednesday morning for me, which means it'd be like Wednesday morning, but stupid, like very, very stupid early. Like Europe's going to be asleep, but it'll be Tuesday night for my US friends. So it'll be a kind of primetime US slot on Tuesday night, but I'll schedule that so you see exactly what time that is. So that's what's happening next. And then the week after we've got Ducks. Ducks usually lie, I believe. And that'll get scheduled straight after we finish with Frigate, with Winner Winner Chicken Dinner on my Wednesday. So that's what's happening. Yes, F in the chat for the EU folk. Apologies, but most of the streams that are planned are in a better time for Europe than the US. So, Crimea River. Trying to accommodate everyone is difficult. But yeah, thank you again, Alex. It was a fun time, and yeah, I hope to have you back sometime. And yeah, thank you everybody for coming along. It was good.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. Yeah. Thanks Jenna for hosting me. Yeah, it was a really nice experience and really nice chatting to you and the chats.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Well, yeah, everybody take care and happy bird gaming. And yes, Scottsword, yes, you're not complaining, I know. Goodbye. Bye, everyone. Ciao. That one. All right. All done.